What's going on, everyone? So at my school, my job quite a bit of the time is not just to educate the kids in terms of self-protection, ethics and morals behind that, self-knowledge, teach them how to get to know themselves and stuff like that. I also help to educate the parents in their quest and, clarify certain things and within our in the martial arts world, within our sphere, right, our parameters, and the way we work. And because a lot of parents are not generally informed about stuff like that. Most people want something for their kids. They don't know exactly what it is, and I just help to redefine, help define things for them where they might be confused, right? So we have parents on the topic of discipline. Bear with me. Again, it's not going to be one of those 2-minute talks, but it won't be a 45-minute talk. It'll be a lot shorter. Parents come to me, and I've been fortunate enough that I'd say about a good 75% of those come because I've been recommended, so it's a no-brainer on their end. They come in. I'd say almost 100% of them are ready to sign up regardless, because they know what they're getting with me, the whole shebang, right? So they're gonna get the attitude, the tough love, the discipline, and everything that comes with it, the technical and the whole yada yada. Now, what I wanted to address is the discipline side. Parents come, and there's a lot of parents that don't know exactly. They think they know, but they don't know, and I think that's usually the first issue. Now, we have parents that will come to the school. I'd say a minority of them, and they'll say, "Well, I want to give." For those parents to say, "Oh, I want my kid to have an activity," and this usually happens mostly through the summer, and not to push a client away or a student away, but I usually dissuade that thought, and I usually turn them away. But before I do, I basically explain to them what, I help them define what they're looking for. If you want an activity, there's summertime, there's soccer, there's baseball, there's this. These are, and then they'll go, he tried baseball, he didn't like it. He tried soccer, didn't like it. I know what you're saying, and I've heard it from all my friends. I've got 35, 40 years of it in this industry, in this business, dealing with clients. Let me tell you something. The ones that want just to have a temporary activity in the summertime, the majority of them are only there for the summer, right? So you can say, what's an extra buck? I get it, but it's a lot deeper than that. So I'll ask him, well, what do you want out of this? Well, I want something, for the kid to have during the summer. He's tried this, he's tried that. Well, he's already teaching his kid to become master at everything, good at none. This is from a parent is not teaching his kid commitment to something. Now this kid is going, I'm bored with this next, I'm bored with that next, I'm bored with this next, I'm bored. And it's not the problem of the child. This is the problematic parent. I'm not talking, when I talk children are children. They don't know any better because you're not teaching them any better. This is the parent now. The parent is going, okay, honey, well, what do you like? Well, Dad, I want to do this now. Okay, well, I don't want to go there. And then it starts working. And then the hostage taking of the parent comes into play, right? And this is where they start taking the parents hostage and, terrorizing them with their crying and screaming and this and that. And a lot of them get away with it, man. My generation got away with nothing because our parents still held true to values that have been handed down and approaches that have been handed down for thousands of years. In this society over here, they've been teaching people to do away with that shit. No, we're going to tell you how to do things. Don't hurt his feelings and shit. Even psychology has changed for some of the better therapists, and they know they cannot treat a person the way the old Freudian method that would deal with, with neurotics the same way as, the histrionics, the psychopaths, the narcissists, and so on and so forth, the sociopaths. Can't be treated the same way. Well, these parents are the ones that are now, teaching their kid, the kid is a byproduct of the parent, right? So they're teaching their kid now that, yeah, it's okay, you can get away with, bitching and crying and this and that, and you'll get your way and do whatever. Now, going back to what I was saying about the school, so here I am now on this side over here, and the parent comes in, thinks this is a lollipop store, and and it's a candy store, and the kid can have any candy they want. And I explain to them, and they go, well, and ask him, well, what do you want out of this? An activity. I go, this isn't an activity. This isn't particularly, it's an activity, but it's a long-term activity. For starters, your child comes in, has to work with somebody who's a little older, a little bit more, who's been here longer, has to work with your child. Now he's got to go down to the level of having to work with a beginner. That beginner has to be passed around to the kids that have more experience. That kid who has more experience, is taking time off of his stuff that he needs to do to work with your child. Yes, it's a good lesson for him, but as long as that child is going to grow with them. If that child doesn't grow, then, well, in that case, it's a loss for the kid that is there permanently, long-term, than it is for the kid who's short-term. Short-term kid comes out and says, well, I get to work with the big guys, had some fun, next merry-go-round, So I explained to them, and I go, this is what I used to offer 3 months. I don't offer 3 months anymore because it's not worth it for the kids there. It's not worth it for them either, because you're not learning anything in 3 months. You really are not. I mean, I've seen it in 40 years of martial arts, man. And as a student myself, you just learn nothing in 3 months. You're learning how to attempt to gain some form, some balance, a semblance of balance and form, a semblance of structure. And that's all you're getting in the beginning. So then I go further and I explain to them that this is what it's about. This is what they're going to encounter first and foremost. This is why, this is not an activity. It's not a fun activity. There's a lot of discipline here. There's a lot of me screaming at them, me persisting on things, me pushing them, and me explaining why I push them. So anybody coming here for an activity or been taught that it's fun, it's, let's just do something for the summer, is going to have a bit of a horrible time over here. Because while the other kids can do all the exercises and I put them through crazy conditioning, this kid's going to suffer because he thought it was going to be something fun. And then the parents are going to sit back and go, don't worry, honey, it's just for the summer, and after we only paid for 3 months, and let's go. It doesn't work that way with me, So I go, okay, so an activity. And what, other than an activity, what else are you looking for? And then they start hitting the discipline and focus and concentration. I go, well, you're going to get zero of that in 3 months. And let me define discipline for you, because discipline is, I think that it is so misconstrued, it's insane. A serial killer has discipline. He does. He has a routine, he has a method, and he sticks to it. So every evil, conniving tyrant out there in society, including governments, they've got discipline. Their discipline is motivated by other reasons, but that's discipline. You want discipline, go throw darts. You need to have extreme focus on that just to get to the target. That requires discipline. The fact that your brain has to sit there still and focus, and you have to keep doing the same movement over and over and over again like any other sport, that requires discipline. That's discipline. Being on a team, now depends what type of discipline you want. And they go, well, in hockey they learn discipline. It's like, no, they don't. I don't know what kind of discipline you're talking about. But that's not discipline. That's completely different. Sit on the bench for the next half hour is not discipline for me. Yeah, it's discipline. That's discipline. To what benefit? To the team's benefit, but not to the individual benefit. Hence the difference again between the martial arts and this. So I go to them, well, the discipline that you want out of your child is what, to be told to sit and stand and this and no. You want them to be disciplined in the sense that they can organize themselves, their brain, their emotions, their actions. And that requires the time to put into a place where they can, they're taught to do certain things and the reason behind them. And that's how discipline is formed. And it's formed not over 3 months, not over 6 months, not over a year or 2 or 3 or 5. It's a course of time. It's within a course of a few years that they even become acquainted with what's called discipline. This is why we start them from young. So it's great to be started from young. And, there's a reason why the Spartans started them from young. Because it detached, they started them from 7. We started from 6. I have 3-year-olds. I have some amazing 3 and 4-year-olds that would blow your mind. The level of focus and absorbency. But that's how they are. And, as long as they're being trained, they just progress. They just grow. So the Spartans used to take him at 7 out of the family. Why? And the mother used to give the child away, not the father. The mother used to give the child away, not to cut the umbilical cord. The umbilical cord has already been cut at 7 years old. Now, today at my place, I still treat a 3-year-old and a 4-year-old as a 3-year-old and a 4-year-old. Two totally 3-year-old, 4-year-old, and 7-year-old, 2 totally different animals. So they knew that when the mother would give the child to the military, the father was generally already in the military. The father himself knew that he could do nothing for that child in terms of disciplining him or teaching him anything, any real value that would stick to him, that was substantial enough for the child to stick to, because it was just too much of an emotional bond there. No, as a teacher, I tried. As I did my best. I've got great kids, and also that was attributed to their mom too. But they were tired of hearing me at home and hearing me at the school. They'd rather hear somebody else at the school than just me all the time. It's exhausting, right? So they would be taken away and they'd had somebody else, train them and deal them. That emotional bond, that emotional tie was cut. So this way, the person training them did not have that emotional content with them. Yes, they cared for them, this, that, whatever, and that bullshit of pedophilia. But only in North America, man, will they read this shit. Only in North America will they come out with this crap. It was none of that shit down there. None of that existed, and any good historian will tell you that. Anyways, so especially within the Spartans, because you cannot do that and then go into war, submit yourself to another man, and then go to war and fight another man. It just doesn't go psychologically and historically. It was not true. So that's another story. So the thing is, the person teaching them has no emotional ties. So it's not breaking my heart to see the kid do, let's say, a 4-year-old, let's say a 7-year-old, do 50 push-ups and force him to do 50 push-ups. And then watching him suffer doing it, and he's suffering, and then after to explain to him why I wanted you to do that. A father is a little bit more emotional, especially a mother. That's why the mother gave them away. Because the child had to know that the mother had the strength to do that. The mother says, you're going to go ahead and do it. The father was too easy. The father just put him in there. So when they come and they say, I want discipline, I say, what kind of discipline are you looking for? And I explain to them. And then the ones that are already decided, because they know, they're informed. They know better, those parents. They know better. They go, that's what I want. This is why I come to you, because I want this and this and this. They know. Those other ones, the Tour de France type, here, there, gone tomorrow, over there, here. Well, those are the ones that, are the ones that need more educating than the child. Child can be molded. But by the time the child's 7, 8 years old, you've let him go. There's, trying to get him into some other place is, it's doable. It's just that, whatever behavior you've taught them, they will carry it out. And I've seen it in my school. Studies done of old are true today. What they've been taught in the house, now they're reinforcing by the time they're 10, 11, 12. They are reinforcing. And to change that behavior, which has to start within here, it takes a while. It takes a lot of, the child wanting to be where they are with us and wanting to listen to what we have to say. Only then that type of training, that persistence can change that pattern of behavior. Other than that, parents that come in and just say, well, I want 3 months, you get nothing out of that. Discipline is specific to each thing. To acquire discipline for growth, so a child can get to know itself really well and then turn into a good human being, first the parent needs to be educated, and then the child needs to be worked on, and trained slowly with time. This is why it's a time thing. It has nothing. There's no quick fix to this. Us as human beings, we don't have a light switch. So, you see, parents who think they know more than us, when they come in there and we go, well, they kind of throw everything in the same basket. Discipline and every activity is the same and they can get the same focus. Those are wrong. And the ones that insist on it, I don't know what to say, man. I mean, time to open up books. So, what's important is to understand that when you're taking a kid to a martial arts place, it's a lifestyle. You have to know as a parent that you want that child to acquire, you want him to gain something that will help himself later on, because you will not be there. You won't be there 90% of the time to help him out. He's gonna have to be out there. He's in school all the day by himself. No friends usually go help, especially especially against a bully. Teachers don't help. Nobody helps in society when they're walking outside by themselves. Nobody's there. You're not there to protect them. So when you want your child going to a martial arts school, the only thing that should be on your mind is finding a damn good school, and then long term. Children don't have options at 4 years old, 5 years old. They should not have you give them the options. But Dad, I want to do that. I want to fly off buildings. They should not have they should have options, but options that you offer, that you give them. You can choose this sport, but this you will do no matter what, because one is for fun, one is for growth. So there are certain things that they should have no option, no choice in the matter whatsoever, and others they could. You want to do basketball or baseball, but you're going to do one or the other. Okay, let's try this. All right, let's try that. Which one did you like? You're going to choose one. I don't want any of this. I just want to draw. Drawing is great, but it's not an activity, and it doesn't teach the child to be physical. These three or what? These three. One of these three. What is it? Soccer, baseball, hockey? What do you like? Hockey, and that's where you're going to stay. But I want you to do this. We are going to go to a boxing school. We're going to go to a martial arts school. We're going to go to and that's where you're going to go. But this does not happen at 10 years old. You can't grab them by the... You're looking at forcing territory. That territory we start forcing the kid now. So you have to be, quick to jump on that age factor. 4 years old, 5 years old maximum, and introduce him into that lifestyle. That's the style, that's the lifestyle they know. They know that from young, I've been doing martial arts because that's what helps them grow. There is no choice in the matter. Personally, even if I wasn't doing martial arts, I would have had my kids, I would have found the toughest school out there. Suffice to say, they had great teachers, they knew what they were doing, had good life experience as well, and put them in there, whether they liked it or not. And let them go through there. I don't want that. I'm feeling sick today. Oh no, we would have gone right through. Because those are just little phases that pass. And then after, they start appreciating it. How do I know? I've seen it all my life. I have kids too. So basically, that's what I wanted to tell you. Discipline is specific to everything, to every individual activity or type of lifestyle. The thing is that the discipline in a martial arts is completely different. Completely different. This is where we grow, and this is where it literally challenges every fiber of that person, of that child, or even of the adult, regardless of who it is. So I just thought I'd share with you that little tidbit of information, so you can be able to distinguish between what is and what isn't, and what you should be looking for when you're comparing apples and oranges, right? So, and that's it. I wish you guys all the best. God bless, and be safe.